I'm here today to share with you a concept called Think, Feel, Know. What is Think, Feel, Know? Think, Feel, Know is a communications process. And the beauty of Think, Feel, Know is its simplicity. People get it, people remember it, and therefore people use it. And as a consequence of that, what they love about Think, Feel, Know is the immediate results they can get for themselves, for their team, for their family. What our research has shown is that people communicate in three fundamentally different ways. They communicate in a thinking way, they communicate in a feeling way, and they communicate in a knowing way. Let me explain that. Thinking is all about data, information and process. It's very logical. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With a primary feeler though, the way that they like to communicate is it's all about the energy, it's all about the relationship. They want to be able to feel their way through. They want to feel that they've got a connection with something and someone else. The knowing way of communicating is very direct. It's very matter of fact. It's very black and white. It's instant. Thinking you can associate with the head. Rodin's the thinker. The feeler is very expressive. Think Billy Connolly telling a great big shaggy dog story. The knowing style is just it can be associated with the gut. It's very intuitive. Give you an example of intuition. A colleague of mine, his brother woke up one morning, it was December the 21st, 1988, and he had this intuition, this gut instinct that he was not going to catch that flight to New York that day. The flight was Pan Am 103, which as we know got blown up over Lockerbie, but if he hadn't followed his intuition, he would have been one of the 270, actually he'd have been the 271st casualty of that bombing. That is called following your gut instinct. Now let's take the archetypes. A primary thinker, a primary feeler and a primary knower. They go to a restaurant. The thinker opens up the menu and looks at every item line by line on the menu, starting in the top left and finishing on the bottom right. It's a very logical, it's a very lengthy process. Meanwhile, they're calculating what the final bill is going to be, how many ounces of steak they're going to get for the pound or the dollar. The feeler, when they go to a restaurant, the primary feeler, remember this is the extreme example, will open up the menu and quite often it'll be too much, it'll be too overwhelming, there'll be too much detail for them. So they'll close the menu and they'll go wandering off, they'll get into a conversation, they'll go see what's on the specials board. So when the waiter or the waitress comes up to the table, the primary feeler is quite not often there. They get asked to make a decision, they close their eyes, they smell something. The primary knower, meanwhile, has opened the menu, if they've moved it at all, and just gone, lobster, and they just sit back, twiddling their thumbs, waiting for the others to come to a decision. Now, what are the applications of Think, Feel, Know? I said at the beginning, the beauty of Think, Feel, Know is its simplicity. Now, we all use all three, but we just have a preference. Now, if you had a primary thinker, a primary feeler, and a primary knower, you can see that there could be some clashes in the way that they communicate. This one wants everybody to get to the point, this one wants all the detail, this one wants you to take them on the story. So when you start to look at teams, this is the beauty of working in companies, is you can actually start to profile people. So let's say you had a primary thinker, followed by feeling, followed by knowing, and they had to communicate with somebody, maybe at board level, who was a primary knower, a primary feeler and a primary thinker. You start to see and predict where the communication clash is going to happen. So at the heart of Think, Feel, Know, when we use this commercially, is we're looking to drive unity, to get people to respect other people's styles. Because the fundamental truth is, we all use all three, and no one of them is any better than the other. So what are the applications? The applications are myriad. This can be used in team building, this can be used in pitching, to make sure you get your pitch right. This can be used in presentations, this can be used in recruitment. To give you another example, I have a client and their primary style in that business is knowing followed by feeling. But they have one department there which is primary thinking. By training this department to raise their feeling and their knowing, they were able to communicate more effectively with that business. So as I said, the uses and the applications are myriad. So in summary, Think, Feel, Know. at its heart, is a communications process designed to get people to link up, get people to agree and get aligned around things, and to drive unity, both into their relationships, both personally and professionally. So in summary, thinking is all about data and information. Think about the head. Feeling is primarily about driving relationships, getting people to work together, telling the story, getting shared experiences together. And knowing is about getting to the heart of it real quick. It's instinctive and it's intuitive.